Welcome to OpenMentor.net. In this session, we are going to talk about QA Monitor issue tracking system. So far, we have seen requirements management, test case management, test execution. If you see here, some requirements are added, test cases are added. Some test cases were executed, something is pending, but so far no issues are added. To add issues, you need to go to the Issues tab. If you go to the Issues tab, for the very first time, you will see an alert, select an issue cycle. This means the process for issue tracking was not set. The issues go through a set of cycle as a bug cycle we know. To set the bug cycle, we need to go to the settings. This has to be done either by enterprise admin or by the project admin. We need to go to the issue cycle. Issue cycle is nothing but what are the status transitions. So we need to have a default issue cycle. Let us say of cycle 1, I add that cycle. Okay. Now the cycle is added. For this cycle, we need to say what is the starting status and what is the ending status. For example, we say the cycle starts at new and then the cycle ends in closed, because a new will be the very first status of the bug or the defect or issue. It ends with closed. Now I say there are some status transitions we need to define. Say new, and then from new I can change to open. That is one status transition. Then I say from open to fixed status, from fixed to retested status, then from retested status to closed status. Over and above that, from fixed status, it can even go to the reopen status if the bug was not properly filled. Okay. Now I save this whole cycle. Once you do that, this whole cycle is saved. Now the next step is new to open. Who are all the people authorized to change this? Now I say new to open. This can be changed. Suppose I give the access rights, development lead can change, project admin can change, or let us say tester or test lead can change. Now I save that. So there are 4 set of people who are enabled to make these changes. Open to fixed, I'm going to say open to fixed can be either changed by the development lead or by the developer or by the project admin. Then save that. So for each time, for each status transition, you need to select the transition, then change. Fixed to retested, this can be done by project admin or by the tester or by the test lead. Then I save that. Retested to closed, again you can set a set of people. This is usually done by the project admin or the test lead. I save that. Again, this fixed to open status, that can also be done by tester or test lead. I give all the access rights to the project manager and then save it. Now once this is done, what I'm going to say is from now on, if you go back to any of these statuses, now these are all saved. This is the process. You need to set that out for your particular project as per the company policies. Now I'm going to say from this moment onwards, cycle 1 will take effect in my project. Select that and then save. So the cycle will be set for this. So any bug will start with new, will go to open, open to fixed, then to retested, closed, right? Now once this is done, I come back to the issues. I want to add a new bug. If the status is not or the cycle is not set, you will get the alert message. You will not be able to add new bugs. Now assume that I want to add a new bug. There's a quick add like a spreadsheet mode or a detailed add. If you click on the detailed add, it will open up a new window. In this window, you can enter the details. For example, I say issue title is inventory does not save item quantity details. Then I can give the detailed issue description like execute. This is called steps to reproduce. Okay, test case XYZ, actually you have to give the number. This XYZ cannot be like this. This is only an example. So you can say execute this particular test case. Then you can say when you save the record, the quantity will reset to 0. This is typically like how people enter the bug description over the email so that the development team can understand what exactly the test case is. Now this default status is new. The priority goes to, you can set the priority. You can say the priority is high, and you can set the severity also as high. And if you have versions of your product, you can select the versions and then detected on today. If you have build numbers, your project admin will give the build numbers. Host is the machine on which you tested. Screen name is inventory save. Okay. If the bug is reproducible consistently, you can select that. By default, it is checked on. If you have any screenshots, you can add as an attachment. Then you can save as a draft, come back, then verify that, then save it as an original bug. The moment you save that, it adds the bug. If you go back, the bug is assigned a new ID. The items, the issue ID will always start with 1 as a serial number. The very first project, very first bug will have 1, but it can keep on incrementing, auto increment. Now this bug has been added. Now if I want to change the status to something else, it will not allow me. Like this, you can add bugs. Now if you want to add like a spreadsheet, you can simply say quick add. In the quick add, it will just open up like this. You can add it as a spreadsheet. Now I say issue title is stock details are not correct. Okay. Now I go to the severity, then I add critical, I add the priority as urgent, then I save this. Okay. So once this is done, this also goes with another bug. But the thing is, we have given very simple details. If you go and then edit it, it may have a different set of details in it. For example, if I go to the detailed add, you could see there is a detailed bug description also available. This is a mandatory field. Some fields, if you do not want to give, you can straight away just add the bug as one line, use quick add. If you want to have all the fields, use detailed add. So in that case, you can have more details added to the bug. Once the bugs are added, after that the bugs will be tracked along their status cycle. Typically the testers will add the bugs, developer will provide the fixed details, testers will come back again, retest it, and then say whether it is working again or not, then close the bugs. Everywhere the comments are actually added by individual people who work on the bug, or basically who are assigned on the bug. Then the history of the bug is tracked. So right now in this session, what we have seen is how to add a bug in quick mode as well as in detailed mode, and we have seen how to set the bug cycle. In the next session, we will see how to track the set of bugs using the status cycle. Thank you.